Ever since I was a kid, my first thought was, who is this?
They say he's not Caucasian enough.
Aang's adult design is being publicly addressed right now. Aang should have grew up to look more like these guys instead of Abraham fucking Lincoln.
Oh, why does he look like that? Aang looks like the general manager of a Costco. Every iteration of Aang is always just the most basic white male. And it would have been alright if he looked somewhat like the original Aang. The good old goofy kid that we all know and love with big fat cheeks and just a smile that could move millions. Tell me why Aang looks like Andrew Tate. Tell me why Aang looks like the nearest Russian that beats up bears for fun. This does not look like the Aang that I grew up on. We have this Aang. He's just adorable. Look at his little cheeks. Look at his little cheeks. And they turn him into the leader of the largest KKK party in Nebraska. This is not Aang. This is a cosplayer. He does not look like who you expect to look like Aang. I understand it. They were trying to capture something different, more serious, more adult Aang. Adult Aang that you can take seriously. But here's the thing. They kind of went too far with it. He doesn't even have the spirit or the essence of the Aang I know and love. It's like they stripped out all joy and whimsy, which is integral to his character as a whole. The fact that he's full of joy yet has one of the most terrible lives in fiction. All of his countrymen got his father figures, his mother figures, all gone in the blink of an eye. He still throughout the series carries that sense of joy. This guy looks like he hasn't smiled since the year of the monkey. Now, all of this to say, this nigga looks weird. I thought that ever since Legend of Korra, where they showed like a clip of him and I was like, you sure that's just not Tenzin with a little bit of a shave? But when I saw this design, I was indifferent to it. Yeah, he kind of looks like a white chocolate milk dud, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, that's just not my Aang. I'm sorry, that's not my Aang. That's not my Aang. I don't have a problem with the character design. I just wish it had more, you know, more Aang features, less serious, you know. Like with Sokka, they kept his face somewhat. Katara, they basically just said copy and paste with the face. Same thing for Toph. But for Aang, they slimmed him up. They gave him a little bit of Ozempic. Okay. So I also seen various images of what Aang would look like if they kept to his original design. Honestly, I like the artwork. I like this fan art. It looks different than most anime characters, you know. The Aang we've seen throughout the years when he's grown up has just looked like any other generic anime pasty ass Asian boy. To have a more darker toned Aang, it brings that representation. It just makes it visually more interesting. Oh, this is disturbing. I don't know how I feel about this. Does he look better or worse, you guys? He kind of looks like a predator.
Immediately mogged every single redesign attempt ever.
Oh, that's nice. I love that. I love this artwork. I like these more than the official designs that we have. Yeah, I don't like the chin strap. I'm never gonna get into that. I just hate the style in general. If I had the choice, if I had the power, I will always keep Aang clean shaven no matter what. Maybe give him a little bit of struff, but that's the most I'll do for it, bro. That's the most I'll allow.
Aang evolution.
Oh, that's nice. I like how they keep the eyes. They keep the eyes sort of big throughout all of this, and that's the main thing with Aang, bro. Keeping the eyes big and wide and just keeping that same whimsy he had since he was a kid is just so important, bro. Like, look at old Aang. I don't think he ever got to this age, though. I think he kind of died before he got to that age. But like this Aang right here, look at the joy you can get from the eyes and just a smile. Yeah, I really feel like they did a disservice with how they've been designing him throughout the years.
Aang actually looks Asian here instead of his canon The Legend of Korra design.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like they whitewashed the fuck out of him. The original Aang was definitely darker than his adult counterpart. Usually you get darker with age. Nah, he stayed inside, actually. He said, fuck the sun.
Aang should have 100% aged like this. Instead, they made him a middle-aged white guy. Thought they should have leaned into the monkeyatsu look.
Yeah.
Because Aang is supposed to be a Tibetan air nomad. This makes you think that very clearly.
Yeah.
And you know, this design, it's not bad, but when I look at that, I'm like, this is just a white guy. And I feel the same way about this design. I mean, this is more of just a generic anime face, so.
You can just take his general face design, just his eyes, his nose, his lips. You can trace that back to literally any Jujutsu Kaisen, any manga. The original child Aang design is just such a iconic design that you have to bring elements of that into his adult counterparts. or he's just not gonna look like Aang. I mean, come on, bro. Like for Zuko, they made him look exactly like what Zuko would look like. Got a little bit more hair than I thought he would have. He's just letting it grow.
Honestly, I don't know. I always felt like this was a huge problem with animation where they don't really make their Asian characters look any other kind of Asian other than very westernized East Asian, like Aang. Like, they would never make an Asian character look like this, at least the main character, right? Because I don't think they think these guys are conventionally attractive. And I think that is the main reason why. Also, the skin tone, too. I cannot remember the last time I saw a main character in an anime have this type of skin tone. Like, they're always so much lighter or just a darker brown. It's very rarely is it more of a yellowish tone. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of how they aged Aang.
I didn't know the Asian community went through colorism like this. I didn't know they went through it through this type of extent, you know? Now thinking of it, I've never seen someone in animation with that skin tone. Especially in anime where everybody's basically just white. It's sad, it's sad. They should have taken inspo from this. Hell yes. That would have been a wonderful callback. If he looked exactly like him cosplaying as an old guy, oh my god, that would have been so good as a callback to those days. Not to be that person, but this is one of the creators. Whoa. Yo, that's a crazy self-insert. That's an insane self-insert. Yo, what? Oh, that just pisses me off now. Wow. Well, now we know why. This is a crazy picture because that's so accurate. They should have got them for the live action. Adult Aang was based off one of the creators of the show, a white man. Given this, it makes no sense as to why a character based on the Tibetan Asian would look European. I based this drawing off of real Tibetan adult men. All I changed was the size of the nose and eyes. In the end, I stand by this version of Aang and other more ethically accurate versions by other artists. Oh wow, I actually kind of like that. It's just more visually interesting. I guess that's why I'm mostly put off from adult Aang, is because it's just not visually interesting or even close to as visually interesting as child Aang.
People are mad that this is what Aang looks like in the new Avatar movie coming out in 2025. That's what he looks like. But the reason why they're mad is shocking. They say he's not Caucasian enough.
Really?
He's never been Caucasian.
I would argue that he's not Asian enough, my guy. I mean, they did make him look darker, like one shade darker. I mean, he was never white though, so why are people complaining? I don't get it sometimes.
I'm so glad we're talking about adult Aang's design from Legend of Korra, because ever since I was a kid, my first thought was, who is this?
I'm so glad I'm not the only one, bro. He does not look like what Aang would look like. I don't know how more in depth can I explain it, but this guy looks like he works at a Walmart in customer relations. Where did they find this man from?
Why did Aang grow up to be Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln. And we have artists giving their own takes on adult Aang, and other people not liking them a lot. But I like seeing people's takes on Aang growing up and looking more like the monks from the air temples. Because it would have been cool seeing him grow up and kind of base his look off of his mentor. But they tried to make him this Giga Chad that looks nothing like him. Like, this picture from the show was great. You could tell they wanted to like keep his build pretty long and slender and elongate his face. But look at his face. He still looks like Aang. And as someone who can only grow a shitty chin strap beard, I wouldn't have given him a chin strap beard, but whatever. He still looks all right here. He looks like Aang. Who the fuck is this? Who is this? This looks like a Hollywood parody of Avatar in Avatar. And no, I don't mean like Nuktuk from Legend of Korra. And no, I don't mean like the Amber Island player's propaganda play from Avatar. I mean like this.
One of the creators just copy pasted himself. That's just literally one-to-one. They made his cheeks a little bit thinner. He made himself a Giga Chad, bro. Damn, he kind of looks like an egg. But let's not talk about that. How do y'all feel? Do y'all like the design? Have y'all always liked the design? Do y'all feel like that perfectly encapsulates Aang as a character? How do y'all feel about this? Let me know in the comments and let me know if there's other designs you want to critique. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until the next time. I don't have an outro, so I'ma just say what I want. So this is the end of the video. I'm out of here. Peace.
Waiting.